I'm going to launch. So my name is Kirk. I'm the growth CFO, financial freedom guy, and I have Holly and Mitch here. And none of us are like AI engineer experts. We're users, and we're using AI to elevate our companies. Starting with AI buddies. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to create AI buddies side by side. We'll send out a checklist after the event so that you can, if you miss something along the way, you can catch up. But why don't we, Holly, why don't you introduce yourself? Then we'll go to Mitchell doing the same thing.
Okay, I'm Halle Eavelyn. Hello. I am a wealth activator and a transformational coach. I've known Mitch for a long time. He's actually my brother from another mother, but shh, don't tell anybody. And I also know and really appreciate Kirk. As Kirk just said, I am not an AI expert. I am an AI user, as are we all. But I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from these guys. I've learned a lot from other areas as well. And I'm super excited to share all of this with you today. Mitch?
Mitch.
Yes. Hi. My name is Mitch Russo, and contrary to popular belief, I actually am an AI expert. I teach AI, I run AI classes, and I help clients implement AI inside their organization. I help them build custom tools using AI, including some of the things you're going to see here today, which are very exciting. Imagine putting together a collection of all your own GPTs, all your own custom AIs into a little storefront that you could use to make money. Well, you're going to see that and more today. So stay tuned because here we go.
Fantastic. So AI, Mitch, you've advanced a long way since the last time we talked. So I'm glad to hear you're an expert in the room. In my case, I rely on my internal team members like Samir, who's created the AI buddy. And it's for us in the strategy, the AI buddy is doing analysis. We can Q&A. We can make sure that for each client we're using best practices. And Holly, do you want to take the lead here?
Mitch is going to walk us through, but I think what would be really helpful is I'm prepared to share my screen. I want to show you guys my own GPT. So what Kirk is calling an AI buddy, I would refer to as a GPT, but it's a custom GPT that allows you to infuse ChatGPT with your entire personality, body of work, etc. It's like remarkable what it can do. So I want to show you mine. Kirk, I don't know if you want to show also the buddy that Samir has created for you, but I'm going to start by showing you that. And then I've asked Mitch to be the one who walks you through the creation of it. But we're going to workshop this. So we're excited to have you all figure out how to do this on your own. It's so much easier than you think. So I'm going to share screen right now, which I believe that I can do. Okay, now I'm sent a request to share. So Kirk will have to approve my request. Kirk, let me know when you've approved my request. Okay, now I can share. Okay, good. So now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I just want to tell you guys, I started working with AI already about almost 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And I started with ChatGPT. I've since tried, honestly, almost everything. I've tried just really a variety of them. And for me, what's so exciting about ChatGPT is that I've come back to it. Like I have a subscription to Claude. I have a subscription to Perplexity. Perplexity has replaced Google on my home screen of my phone as the thing that I use to ask questions. However, when it comes to infusing myself into it, I see much more value in ChatGPT. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you. You can see that I've logged in, and this is the paid version, right? So if you look on the left side of the screen, it says GPTs, okay? And I can look and explore GPTs that other people have created. So here's an example of a GPT that I've used before. Actually, let me show you something that probably y'all can use more than some of this other stuff. So I'm going to say sales, okay? So all I did was type in the word sales. All of these are GPTs that other people have created using sales as their methodology. So you will find that they're like, this says it's an admin for Salesforce. Okay, so if you were using Salesforce, you could use this GPT to help you have a better experience. I'm just looking through here to give you an idea. This is a sales copywriter. So there's stuff here that's specifically storytelling based sales. And so you could say sales and storytelling and you get only that narrow window of stuff. Sales cold email coach. Well, that's designed to help you create only cold emails. And you can do this for anything. You could do this for writing. You could do this for scripting. You could do this for, like, I have one that I use all the time that's an AI for travel and tourism, because I actually own and operate one of my companies is a spiritual travel business. So I will use this to help me create much easier the materials that I need to create for that company. So it's a game changer just having GPTs. But what's so beautiful and amazing is you can have your own. So now Red Goddess, that's my nickname. And this was originally the Red Goddess GPT. And so now this is my personal one. And Mitch is going to show you what to do. But basically, I've just uploaded a bunch of documents that I had already created, the book that I wrote, blogs that I've written, articles that I've done. I have a new piece that's going in where I used somebody else's GPT to create a human design and astrology blueprint of myself based on my exact birth time. And it was so powerful that I'm going to upload it into this GPT to add in to what it can teach me about me. But so let me ask a question. What kind of coach am I? Now it knows it's me. And so this knowledge is based on the stuff I've uploaded. So it's telling me what kind of coach that I am. And everything that it's saying right now is 100% correct, that I have a focus on transformation, that I integrate spiritual and intuitive work, that I work on mindset, that I do money rewiring, that I'm specifically interested in empowering the feminine, that I'm action oriented, that I'm results driven, that I work with personal healing and reinvention. All of that stuff is correct. And now it's telling me I'm the velvet hammer and the spiritual chiropractor for women ready to rise. Okay, velvet hammer is something a client has called me. Spiritual chiropractor is something a client has called me. How does it know that? Because it's on my website, and my website is one of the pieces of information that it uses. Now look what it's saying to me. Let me just say, I'd love an Instagram bio. Now, it just gave me something formatted for Instagram. It gave me something that it knows already based on its vast knowledge of Instagram of what it needs to look like. Now, watch what happens now. Give me one quick bio for LinkedIn. Look what happens now. Completely different. No emojis, written in complete sentences, much longer, much different, very different words. It's given me this as a headline, as to put in, to look at the difference between that. Transformational coach for women, transformational coach, wealth strategist, speaker, author. It's very different. It knows all of this stuff. Now it's saying, oh, okay, what if you're going to be doing speaking work? What if you want to talk to corporations? If I ask it for this, it's going to give me something completely different. So now let me ask it something really crazy. What do I need to improve? Boy, am I opening my kimono. I have no idea what the answer to this is going to be. Okay, this is what I'm already doing. I have a clear brand voice. I do deep transformation. I have a unique offer stack. Right? I would never say offer stack, but it's telling me because it knows what I do, what my work is. Here's where you can improve or expand. Own my authority at a higher level, more visible. Tighten and clarify my offer language. showcase more client wins and case studies. I know for a fact there aren't enough of those. I've got like 15, but I could have 40, right? Consistent calls to action and content. This is something I'm already doing, but it doesn't know that based on everything that it doesn't have the latest stuff. Upgrade visual branding on socials. If your visuals don't yet reflect luxurious, intuitive, elevated, then upgrade. Now it's telling me all of that. I'm going to stop my share based on what I have already given it and its vast knowledge of pretty much everything on the internet. That's the beauty of this. And it is specific to me. Now, what I also could do, and I think Mitch is going to get into this a lot more in a minute, but I'll just say what I also could do is I could create an online version. I'm just telling you guys all my secrets. I'm going to create an online version of me, and I'm going to allow people to subscribe to that every month so that they can get my coaching without needing me, because my coaching is so embodied in the GPT. Is it going to completely replace working with me in person? No. But for people who can't do that, they will be able to use my GPT and buy it for almost nothing. And they will be able to take advantage of that without taking a moment of my time, which is where all my real, my value is in my time. Okay. Any questions so far? If so, could you pop them into the chat? And I'm just going to ask real quick. I see we've got 24 folks on the call, so good for you for showing up. Is it possible for people to unmute, or because we're in webinar mode, they can't, right, Kirk?
It probably can't.
Okay, so if you guys have any questions, would you mind just popping them into the chat right now?
Yeah, there's also a Q&A button, so you can pop the questions up.
Oh, if you have a question, click the Q&A button, and that way we'll know you have a question. That would be helpful. Yeah, so you can you can create a question in there. All right, I'm going to come back. So we don't take a lot of time. I'm going to come back to that, and I'll just keep an eye on the chat. For now, I want to turn it over to Mitch. I know Mitch is going to be talking about like the step-by-step process of bringing your AI in, but I want your wheels to start turning about what is possible. Oh, yay, Dina. Thank you so much. Dina says this is already eye-opening, so that's fantastic. Good.
Yeah, and let's do a little bit of a summary. I mean, so Halle, it sounds like you set it up. It has your expertise, your personality, writes like you, knows what's going on. You can ask it to do certain things. So it has that body of knowledge, but it also has all the knowledge in ChatGPT, right?
That's
so you can
right.
you can say, here's a PDF of a contract that's this thick. Tell me what I should be looking at, right? Or you can ask questions of the contract or the agreement, and it'll do that not just based on Holly's knowledge, but also based on whatever's in ChatGPT. So it's the power of both the internal and the external all into one that's expressed in your style and how you look at.
Yeah. So if you, for example, given what Kirk just said about the contract, let's give that as an example. So if I want to write a contract for a new kind of client, let's say it's a type of corporate partnership that I've never done before, I can say, I can run it through my GPT and ask it to create a contract for the type of work that I do. But then I could also, I don't have to teach it how to write a contract, but I could upload in that moment a contract and say, use this format and just put my material into this format, and it's capable of blending them and merging them because it has the ability of all of AI, all of the GPT. You don't have to teach it how to write a contract. And it also understands like how to put my information over top of that. I would say that's not the most valuable use though of the GPTs. I think that the personal GPTs are super valuable to create content or to edit content that you have already created. Like you can just use regular ChatGPT to write a contract because it doesn't really have a voice, but anything that you want to have your brand voice over it, that's what we're looking for. So Rob asks, will you be able to show how and what you shared to get your personal chat to its current state? Yes. As soon as I get done with this next question, Mitch is going to do exactly that. And then Dina says, how does it know how to coach like you? And the answer is because I have uploaded I've been coaching for 10 years. The amount of content, I used to be like, I don't have enough content. Now I'm like overwhelmed with content. If AI hadn't come out, I wouldn't have any way of sorting my content. But because AI has come out, I absolutely can sort my content, and I can say, here are like the things that everybody needs to know. I can feed it the books that I've written, the articles, the blog posts, etc. And now once I do that, it goes, oh, this is the synthesized material that will give us the answer. And so that's how it knows to coach like me, because it's me that has put all of this information in. Todd, do you have a list of all the most useful and valuable use cases for AI Buddy? If you're talking about like the most valuable use cases for an AI Buddy that is a customized GPT, the answer is there are already more than you could possibly count. That's why at the beginning of when I did the screen share, I showed you how to go into the Explore GPTs and type in a keyword, because there are dozens and even hundreds of each one of those. So it's a lot. Okay, so Mitch, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Halle.
Super excited.
Great. Yes, great overview. Thank you so much for doing so much so quickly. It makes my job much easier. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to share my desktop and I think you can see it by now. So I want to give you a little bit of the mechanics of what Halle just described. And then with your permission, we're going to go a little deeper. So first of all, can I get a yes in chat if you'd like me to go a little bit deeper than just the surface stuff? Just a yes. Just tell me that you'd like to or not. I don't see anybody. Oh, hold on. Am I getting some yeses here? Yay. All right.
You're getting a lot.
All right, good. All right, because I like going deep. You know me. All right. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is memory. Halle was just describing what you can do with it. I'm going to show you how to do it inside ChatGPT itself. So first thing I'm going to do is go to settings. Then I'm going to go to personalization. Then I'm going to go to manage memories. Now, when I click on this, you're going to see a lot of personal stuff about me. And I don't mind if you see it, but I just want you to know that this is my personal stuff. I don't share this outside of, the outside of my family, really, but this is everything that I'm doing. And this is all about me, my attributes, the books I've written, the things I've done, my LinkedIn followers. I mean, think about this is everything, right? You could add these things one at a time. And this becomes you. This becomes the collective you. Now, let me show you what happens, just as Halle was describing. What would happen if I set into, now remember, I didn't tell ChatGPT anything. This is a brand new open screen. And I say, sort of what Halle was saying before is what would be the best way for me to make money today? Now, you could ask that question in your chat too. Once it knows you, and you'll see in a minute, it will be able to analyze everything you have done, and it's going to show you all the opportunities that you could do. Now, it's doing this because it knows me. It says here, leverages your authority, your audience, your frameworks. Ask me anything power hours. So it's $1,000 plus for one day of work. I mean, so all of these things are things that the system knows about me. But you could go through and give this a lot more customization. So once you set up your memory, you now can ask it almost anything about you. Why don't we go one step further? Let's actually create a actual custom GPT for yourself. Now, I'm instead of creating one, because then I have to pull stuff up off the hard drive, I'm going to show you one or two that I've already done. Now, in this case, I'm a storyteller, I'm a writer, and I like to take famous people. I like to find everything I can about like Dan Brown, he's written some famous books. And what I like to do is I like to upload Dan Brown information inside of a custom GPT. And now I could say something like, if you know who I am and what I do? How could I write a story like Dan? Now, it knows everything about me, and so this is so so it's going to give me ideas, and it's going to do this based on what's inside the custom GPT. So let's go back a second and let's take a look at another custom my GPTs. This is where you access it. Let me show you what you got to do to make one. You say create a custom GPT, you name it, and you could call this my webinar formula. And now you could add a short description if you like. And you could say something like this takes content and creates a webinar. Now, what you can do here is you could say, when you do this, use the Russell Brunson formula for webinars. And now what you could do is you could upload Russell Brunson's little 7.7 point script. And to do this, you could upload other instructions. You could induce this. You can make this from anywhere. So you say, okay, so where do I start? That might be a conversation starter. It says, what is the topic? Right. And another conversation might be, who am I trying to reach? And now what ends up happening is I have a preview of my custom GPT called my webinar formula. So I might want to say something along the lines of, okay, where do I start? And what it's going to do is it's going to literally answer that question for me. Let's see if it'll work. Okay. Um, where do I start? And okay, so it's actually giving us the formula right away, and it's telling us what the steps are. So all you have to do, so now here's another very interesting thing you could do. You say, ask me these questions one at a time and wait to make sure I answered properly. Notice now that I'm telling GPT how to interact with me. So what is the big result of your product? I want to sell subscriptions. Oops. Sell seats in my SaaS program called Clientfolio. Okay, so it's basically now it's asking the defining the who, the what, the where. I'm not trying to build a webinar. I'm trying to demonstrate how you could build a tool to do anything you want with a custom GPT. Now, let's say you
and hang on one second, Mitch, because I think this is something that when I was new at this blew my mind. So I want to go really slow here. You can have ChatGPT or any AI that you're using tell you what you don't know. So
right.
we always say like the answer to a question is going to depend on the quality of the question, right? That you can garbage in, garbage out. So you could be like, well, I don't know about this. So how am I going to be able to know what to ask ChatGPT? Don't bother with that. The AI will help you with what you don't already know to figure it out. So you can say, I don't know anything about this. For example, Mitch is like, use a Russell Brunson formula. You might be like, who the heck is Russell Brunson? But you could say, who are the top 5 webinar creators in the world right now? And it already knows that. And then you could give it the instruction based on that. Which one of those is most, I don't know, I saw earlier that I do a lot of female embodiment. Like, which one of those is the most interested in working with the feminine versus a masculine formula? I could ask that question. It doesn't matter. But it just searched the web and said, oh, look, this is who you want to learn from. So you don't necessarily need to know the answers. You don't need to know the questions. You just need to know that you can say, I don't understand. Help me figure it out. It will walk you through how to do it.
Right.
Thank you,
So
Mitch.
sure. So, I mean, you don't need to build a custom GPT to do this, but in this simple configuration, you could pretty much do this right inside the chat window. But the reason for building a custom GPT is you're creating a robot, you're creating a machine. In effect, what you're doing is you're turning this into a formula. And if you notice down here, you can give it custom instructions, but here's the best part. You could upload as many files as you want. So whereas ChatGPT, you could put a file into your chat window and ask it some questions, you're actually storing your files in your custom GPT. That is a big deal. So let's go back for a minute and let's take a look at one more. And I'm gonna let's see. This is a GPT that I built specifically for how to publish a book. And what I did is I purchased some programs on how to self-publish a book. I uploaded articles, I uploaded videos, I put all of those things in here. And what my goal was, let's see if I could edit GPT and show it to you. Now look at what I have. See, I uploaded the book market, a blueprint formula, book marketing guidelines. I added all of these things, including the questions, but now I've built a machine. Now all I have to do is open up this GPT and say, I could click one of these boxes. I could maybe say, where should I advertise my book? And I don't even have to type the command. I could click one of the boxes and it will tell me what it thinks is the best way for me to publish my book. Now, here's the part that will blow your mind. There is no limitation to what you can ask Chat GPT. So, and this is the part that most people get confused about. You don't need to say, well, I don't know if it knows about. I was in a hotel this weekend in Washington, D.C., and I didn't know where the ballroom was. So I opened Chat GPT and I said, where is the ballroom in this particular hotel, the Gaylord Hotel in Washington, D.C.? And it pulled up a map and showed it to me. You could do this with almost any topic. You could say, what is the current thinking on how to fix a particular medical problem? And you could then start collecting data and build a GPT on cancer or on diabetes or on any particular illness that you have. Now, I want to go a little further, but before I do, I want to check. Any questions? Anybody have anything or reaction to what I've shown you so far? Are we doing okay?
There's nothing in the Q&A right now.
Okay, good. All right. So let's say you develop a series
But
of.
hang on.
Hmm?
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys, if Mitch is blowing your mind, could you put a little comment in the chat so we can see that Mitch is blowing your mind right now? Because I mean, I think this stuff is amazing. Yes, in all caps. Yes, absolutely. It's
Good.
crazy what's possible. Yes, this is all recorded already, and we'll send the recording out to you all afterwards.
So there are some GPTs that are so extensive that you can literally build an entire book. Help me plan my book. Now, this is going to be, like I said before, it's a machine. It's going to basically walk you through the steps that you can take to literally create a book from scratch using a GPT, a custom GPT. Now, Kirk is a financial guy, financial freedom guy. He's a smart guy. He probably has a lot of content. Let's say he wanted to create a bot to encapsulate his content into an AI clone. Well, I'd like to introduce you to Mitch Russo. Mitch is the AI clone of me. Would anybody here like to talk to my clone? Because I can have a conversation right now with my own clone. So I mean, if you'd like, I mean, I don't have to, but I could. So bottom line is that I could talk to my own clone if I like. I could share my clone if I like. So all of this is all about creating my own clone. So let me see here if I can um, go here. Oh,
And,
so one of the things about this is how do I do this? When I do this, I get to personalize every aspect of this. I create a library of everything inside of the Mitch Russo clone. So these are, I'll give you a quick overview here. Um, it says
I
that
agree with that, by the way. Legendary mind quality.
here is everything I've ever written, 2,902,000 words. This is all of my social media, all of my books, all of my Facebook social media accounts, all of my 550 blog posts and interviews. All of it is right there. And I can continue to uh, basically add other people if I want as well. And this becomes my clone. So, really, at this point, once you do this, we're going to talk to my Delphi clone right now. So, we're going to go with voice. You could do text, but I want you to hear this. And I want you to be careful now because you're talking to Mitch here. So, be careful what you say because whatever you ask, you're going to get an answer. So, let's start.
Hi, I'm not actually Mitch, but an AI version. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I do. I'd like to know if I had a certification program, what are the best ways to use it to make recurring revenue?
The beauty of a certification program is its built-in potential for recurring revenue. First, you can charge an annual recertification fee, ensuring participants stay current with your standards. Second, hosting exclusive events like symposiums or advanced training sessions creates opportunities for additional income while deepening engagement. And third, offering ongoing access to premium resources or tools as part of a subscription keeps your certified members invested in your ecosystem. The key is delivering consistent value so participants see a clear return on their investment. What kind of program are you envisioning?
Oh, I would say something around my coaching business. I have a lot of content that I've created in my coaching business.
That's fantastic. Your coaching content is a goldmine for a certification program. You could structure it so participants not only learn your methods, but also become certified to teach or implement them. This creates a ripple effect. Your reach expands while generating recurring revenue through certification fees, annual renewals, and exclusive access to advanced materials or events. What specific outcomes do you want your certified coaches to achieve?
Let's stop it here. I could go on and on and on. I could have a 1 hour phone call with my clone, or you could have a 1 hour phone call with my clone, and you would basically get the equivalent answers that I would probably give. It's doing real-time analysis using AI of everything I've ever written. And I've written several books about, 4 published business books. This is one of them called Power Tribes. This is a book on certification. So the point here is that it knows everything in the book. In fact, I wrote this book 6 years ago. I forgot half of what's in it, I'm sure. So I have to ask my clone sometimes what's in my book. But the bottom line is that it encompasses human knowledge in a way that's never been done before, and then it sampled my voice and recreates it for this exact purpose.
let's pause there and just recognize that's incredible. I mean, I have Mitch, I have not seen that before until just now. I mean, you're literally almost like replicating yourself, right? Where there's a thousand of you out there that can have some type of interaction with the people you want to interact with. I mean, that's amazing.
It's pretty cool. And by the way, I could teach anyone how to build their own in one afternoon. So if anybody would like a pop-up workshop on how to build a Delphi clone of themselves, an AI version of themselves, let Kirk know, let Halle know, and I'd be happy to jump in and do it. But
Now,
on
first, if you
Mhm.
can go back over to the regular GPT, because we definitely want to make sure that everybody is able to build their own regular GPT. So
Right.
I want you to show them how to create basically, the version that I showed them, which is much lower end than that one.
Okay, so to go back to what you did before, we have to start from the beginning and we have to go to settings. I'm just reviewing this. From there, we go to personalization. From personalization, we go to manage memories. Now, notice that there's a switch that says reference saved memories or don't reference saved memories. Most of the time, I don't see why you'd not want to, because the more you add to your memory, the more knowledge ChatGPT has of you. But here's the interesting thing. It may know about you, but it also knows about the entire human knowledge base. So if you are able to to create memories or put information into your memory files, it could use that along with the internet to know exactly what you're doing. Now, I was working with a friend on a book called Broken, Sick, and Crazy, and we finished the project, so I'm going to remove that. Now I'm going to quote unquote forget this from my memory.
Wow.
You see, so I don't necessarily get stuck with everything that I have in memory if I don't want it. And so Mitch is recording an origin story to be used with his AI clone. I did that already. Okay. So I can get rid of that too. Okay. But this is like historical information. Mitch started a software company, blah, blah, blah. Mitch has undergone blah, blah, blah. I mean, all these things are information that you can put in here. In fact, you should put in here if you want to complete and create your customized version of ChatGPT.
So
That's
Mitch, did you start by typing all of that stuff in individually in order to get there? Or did you just, like, as you uploaded files, it added those things to the memory anyway?
here's a very interesting. That was a great question, Hallie. Here's why. Because I could say I am currently, oops, writing a book called Dial Tone Chronicles. It's about how the dial tone is actually a carrier signal to find people who are waking up in this world. It's
Yeah.
a it's a fiction book that I'm writing. Uh, it's a it's a
Set in the past.
about waking up. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to say here, um, I could just put a dash and say add. Oops, I'm going to put a dash and say add to my memory. And now what it's going to do is says update saved memory. See that?
Huh.
Okay. Now, but that's not enough. I'm not done. How many people here have a cell phone? I'm going to say that there's probably no one who doesn't. It's a silly question, right? Did you know that you could put ChatGPT on your cell phone and talk to ChatGPT on your cell phone? Has anyone tried that? If you've not tried it, try it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you something now. And this is why I think it's so cool to be able to carry this around in your pocket. So ChatGPT is on my cell phone. I know you can't really see it. My stupid screen thing is popping in and out. But this is just ChatGPT on my cell phone. And I'm going to click the icon.
Oh, we actually can't see anything right now. We still have your main screen. I don't think anything's changed.
Okay, so let me stop sharing for just a second so I can show this to you.
And meanwhile, I see that you guys are asking questions. So don't use the Q&A as a chat. The Q&A is next to the chat. Just a heads up, because some people are like typing stuff that's just comments in the as questions. So the chat is separate from the Q&A. Okay, but while Mitch is doing this, we will get to your questions. Okay, go ahead, Mitch.
Okay, so here's ChatGPT on my phone. And I'm going to click on the button that looks like a little waveform. And I'm going, and it says basically at this point, you're going to get a blue ball in the center that looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
And now I could talk to ChatGPT. Hi, ChatGPT. I'm thinking about starting a new business. Knowing what you know about me, can you give me some ideas as to what that might be? Oh, I forgot to press the microphone button.
Your background in business coaching, AI training, spiritual development, and your passion for writing and photography, there are quite a few directions you could go. One idea could be a hybrid platform that combines your business acumen and spiritual insights. For example, you could create an online community or membership site where you offer a blend of business coaching, spiritual guidance, and creative workshops. This can also tie in with your Maxwell project, offering exclusive content, live sessions, and practical tools for personal and professional growth. Another angle could be developing a specialized coaching program that merges AI solutions with spiritual coaching, helping other entrepreneurs in.
Okay, so as you can see now, I have every morning that I'm not in the gym, I go for a 2-mile walk by the beach. I usually take chat with me and I have conversations with ChatGPT live with my earphones. So I'm walking along the street talking to myself with my earphones in, and I'm having a conversation and I'm planning businesses, I'm planning investment strategies, I'm planning virtually anything I want. And everything I talk about will show up on my screen directly here, back here in ChatGPT. If I refresh my screen, and go down to my conversations. Let's see, today, business ideas. This is the conversation I just had. So as I'm walking around, I'm saying, yeah, I like that idea. Can we go deeper? And this is, by the way, how I wrote my fourth book called Sacred Prophets. So I asked it, what kind of book would I be able to write knowing about what I do and who I am? And we brainstormed for 20 minutes. Finally, an idea came up and I said, let's elaborate on that. Let's go deeper. What would the outline look like? What would the table of contents look like? What would be can you give me 10 bullet points on each item in the table of contents? And before you know it, I had the complete outline of a book from just walking on the beach. And it was all waiting for me in print right here. So this is something I highly, highly recommend you to do if you're going to be working with ChatGPT. Now another thing that you've probably seen in social media is that ChatGPT has helped a lot of people. It's helped it with health problems, emotional problems, relationship problems. Don't ignore it. It's not just some big thing that just can, write blog posts. It's very, very, very intelligent, and it's basically your servant. It could do anything you want. So before I go on to the next thing, which I think is one of the best things, I want to stop again and say, will everybody on this call download ChatGPT and start using it on their phone? Give me a hell yeah in chat if you will. And
And can they're asking, there's a lot of people asking about, do you need a paid version to create your own GPT? You do, correct?
yes. Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. There's another very valuable element of this. If you don't have a paid version, there is rumor that anything that you enter into ChatGPT becomes part of their database. However, if you do, it stays 100% private. So
Hmm.
another reason to spend 20 bucks a month is to keep your stuff to yourself. And that's kind of important to me anyway. So
Yep.
absolutely. I'm glad everybody likes it. I see some people already
So
use it.
Mitch, go back to, once you've entered the memories, go back to creating the GPT itself, just
Okay.
for a minute, so people can get a better idea of that.
Okay. So the first thing you got to do here, remember now we went customized ChatGPT is how you set up ChatGPT. So you can create a gallery of all your images. Here's some here's some funny things I've been playing with here. It's my gallery. I could have my GPTs top or all GPTs here. Here's my GPTs. If it ever, it may take. There we go. It finally
Because you
finally
have 46, it's going to take a minute.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to take a minute. And by the way, if there's notes, you could add notes directly. That's not part of the AI. And then of course, there's your custom instructions. Now, all of my custom instructions are in memory, so that's where I keep them. The bottom line is that this is separate from. Like, make it clear here. That's separate from settings. Customized is what I just showed you. Settings is where you go to personalization, memory, manage memories. Personalization, memory, manage memories. And it's here that you put all of your information about you.
Well,
Now,
here's where it's stored, but you showed us that you put that in the main screen, correct?
I can put it in the main screen, or I could add it directly here.
How would I add it directly here?
Let's see here. I can. I've never tried to do it. I always add it from the main screen.
Yeah, so it certainly, we know that we could do that. So,
Yeah.
and the more you upload, the more information it has about you. I started with 20 documents. I've traded out over a few of them over time. I've added more stuff in over
Right.
time. It's, your first attempt, your first draft at your own AI buddy, as Kirk calls it, is going to be pretty rudimentary. But if you just spend a couple months asking ChatGPT questions and adding that in, you're going to find that there's a tremendous amount of information that gets added to the GPT, and that it begins to be much, much clearer in its responses. So you don't have to feel like, if I don't get it all right the first time, that's it. It's evolving at the same time that AI is evolving, and that means it's going to be able to answer a lot more for you later as well.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you're going to do something for a friend. And like I told you before, I was helping a friend outline a book, and I don't want it to be in my memory. What I could do here is I could click the top here, and when I start a new chat, and I just basically started a new chat, I could turn memory off.
Okay.
Okay. And I could even, if I wanted to, say, um, this next conversation will not be stored in memory. And now I could have a conversation about a friend or a family member or something other than me, and it stays out of memory. And that's my goal. I want to make sure that it stays out of memory. Now, this is something new, and I want to show it to you. It says reference chats here. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. So what is reference chats doing? So what it's doing is it's going back through all of your chats and basically using them as part of your memory, as part of your library. Again, it could be very useful. So if I were to say, give me a summary of a book I'm writing called Sacred Crossroads. Now, it doesn't know what Sacred Crossroads is, but it's probably going to find it in my chats. Ah, okay, so it's not finding it in my chats. Um, I would have to pull up my Sacred Crossroads chat and ask it that question, which I
At
did.
least there's no conflict of title. That's good.
Exactly. That's right. There you go. Exactly. So the whole idea is you want ChatGPT to work for you in the most custom way possible. And if you don't customize it, it won't do it. Now, I'd like to move on to the last part of my presentation. When this is the fun part, this is how we actually can sell GPTs. So who here would like to create GPTs and sell them? And Kirk, you're going to need to raise your hand for this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to saying hell yes and the cat.
Oh, there you go. All right.
And
Craig
then,
wants
Mitch, we do have some questions in the chat as well.
Okay. So why don't we start with the questions before we go to the next step? So can you read me what the questions are? I don't see them.
Sure. So we've answered that, yes, you have to have a paid version of ChatGPT, and you can go with the cheapest one. Somebody's asking if they have Microsoft Copilot because they're a Windows 365 user. Should I use it or ChatGPT, which I'll have to buy another subscription for? I'm going to answer that question. Absolutely. It's $20 a month. Yes, Microsoft Copilot will do some stuff, but it is not going to do everything that Mitch is talking about here. It doesn't have the same capabilities. Can you hook your own GPT to a database to get business data? And how do you deal with data security?
Well, yes and no. You can actually you could hook up ChatGPT to access your Google Docs. So if you have spreadsheets in Google Docs, and I'm not sure if they're spreadsheets or just documents, you could hook it up to your Google Drive and it could access your Google Drive. As Kirk probably knows, I could upload 5 or 10 years of historical monthly financial statements for a company, and I could ask the ChatGPT to analyze them in real time and tell me any trends that are changing. I was working with a client and we found fraud. We found that one of the assistant bookkeepers had created a fictitious company and was sending checks to his fictitious company and embezzling money using ChatGPT,
Oh
all
my
by
gosh.
all by uploading the financial statements for the company. Now, the other thing that you can use ChatGPT for is you could use it for coding. There are specific tools for coding, but ChatGPT is excellent, though so is Claude. Anthropic's Claude is excellent at coding too. So if that's part of what you want to do, you probably already know this if you're a coder, because it's just been so popular. So any other questions, Halle, in the chat?
Yeah. So there's a question about how Delphi cloned your voice. What was the process like to train it?
Right. So it's not too hard at all. You're basically giving it voice samples. You could record them on the spot, or you could upload files, and then you have to go through and tune it. So I'll show you guys how to do that on the workshop, if you like. And then once we tune it to your voice, then at that point we could start uploading your data and uploading your information, and then access the websites you'd want it to reference. But the
Right.
idea is that once you set it up, the clone will have your voice, answer the questions you want. And by the way, you can charge. I just want to show you something right here, is that you can charge for your clone. So it says, see where it says total earnings 000. Well, right now I haven't decided to charge for my clone, but I could. So if I wanted to, I could basically enter my Stripe link here, and people can use my clone, say 2 times for free, and then subscribe for $495 a month, which would be super cheap compared to my rates. So bottom line is that I could use this as a virtual me and make money if that's what you choose to do.
So the next questions are going, first of all, Craig says, do I need to download an app to get Chat GPT on my phone? And the answer is yes, you need to download the Chat GPT app. So there's a desktop version and there is, or I guess there's a web version, I should say.
Yes. Yeah.
You can go to openai.com, which I'll type into the chat right now for everybody. And then you would download the Chat GPT for Windows or the Google Play Store. I'm sorry, for iOS or the Google Play Store. Now, the other questions, Mitch, are going to cause us to go back a little bit because they are still very important core questions that we have not yet answered. So if we want to go over a little bit past the top of the hour and you guys can stay on, please do, because it's going to take Mitch about 5 minutes to get the rest of these questions answered. The basic GPT, how do you start a GPT from scratch is what's being asked. And then do you enter your books? And if so, how, which is going to be part of that. The other question, Dina asked, how do you sync your mobile app to the desktop one? As long as you're logged in on both sides, it does the syncing automatically. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so Mitch, show everybody how to create that GPT, just the basics of how to set up the GPT.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my GPTs. It's under your picture of yourself here on the main screen, my GPTs. And then I'm going to create a custom GPT. Now, like I said, it might be better if I show you one that I've already done. And again, it's very simple. It's the same thing. You go to my GPTs, then you get to this screen. And then you fill in the name of your custom GPT, the description, the instructions, the conversation starters, and then you add the information that becomes its knowledge base.
Yeah. Hey, and Mitch, just to highlight, I mean, people can upload like a PDF, right?
Yes.
This is a question as much as a statement, but you can also add a link to a website or to videos, like on a podcast somewhere. Or is that true, Mitch?
You can, yes, you could reference videos, PDFs, Google Docs,
My web page. Yep.
anything you
Your own
want.
personal pages.
Exactly, exactly. See where it says web search, you could do that too. And with the knowledge base, you could also, there's something here called create new action. So create new action is really more for programming, but it gives you the ability to link, like import from URLs. This could be important down the road if you're trying to do something more custom, but let's skip that for now. So notice here that under the configure tab, as you do this, okay, what is the price point of your ideal client? And now at this point, did you notice that it automatically created a button here on this side? So if I say update, then this is now shareable. I can give the link out. And if I would say, I just want to test it out, I say, let's view the GPT. So this is what it looks like. My custom ideal avatar profile engine.
Notice, by the way, that when I showed you guys mine, it actually had my logo on it in place of this little circle here. I mean, sorry, the little circle with the square in it. And that's because I've added my logo. You can add your face like Mitch had done with his.
Right. So nonetheless, here's the idea. It basically, let's get started building your ideal. So all it's really doing here is it's going through a checklist and asking me one question at a time. It's collecting all of my answers. It's then going to output my custom ideal avatar at the end of the process. I don't know how to do that. It's all in the PDF. I mean, I do know how, but my point is I wrote the PDF so that other people can use it to create their ideal profile for their avatar. So if we go back again, we say to my GPTs, create a custom GPT. Now you get effectively the blank version of what I just showed you.
And it's pretty straightforward, you guys. Don't overcomplicate it. Start with a new GPT. You can always throw it out later, but you can also write and ask ChatGPT itself, how do I do this? You could start with, I want to create my own GPT. What steps do I have to take? And it will literally tell you how to do it. It's super easy. And it takes like 5 minutes to set it up initially.
Right.
Okay. And then Adina asked if you could enter your books. And if so, how? The answer is just enter them in as PDFs. So they would become files that would attach to your GPT. Okay.
Right. So in this case, I have one that is from one of my books, and it's basically deriving any question you could ask the book, it will give you the answer. But in order for me to have done that, I had to have uploaded the books. Let's go to that same one and click edit. And what you'll see is here's the manuscript for my book. It's right here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm wondering if we should do a separate session on monetizing the ChatGPT. Let's get people started with doing a ChatGPT. And I want to make sure we have a WhatsApp group where every day we're collaborating with each other about ChatGPT. So we'll send out the link to make sure everyone that's on this call has a chance to get into that group and collaborate. But what do you Mitch and Holly, what do you think about doing a separate session on monetizing?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
I think that's a really good idea, because I think there's a learning curve for people just in their brains, and this has been a ton of information. So and we're at the top of the hour already. So what do you think about that, Mitch?
Hey, if somebody asks me, I'll likely do it. So.
I'm asking you.
All right. I'll likely do it then.
All right. So can everybody just type in the chat how you're feeling right now about the information that you did you get a lot of good information? Do you feel more confident that you can create this for yourself? Do you feel like you're going to give it a shot? Just type anything in the chat. This is excellent. That's a good first comment. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of info.
Tina said, got a lot of good info, going to give it a shot. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. I'm sorry, Kirk.
Yeah, key thing is no matter where you're at with this, take right now, spend 5 minutes, take the first step, create a customize, give it a name, give it a logo, load one PDF into it, and then just start to play with it. And you'll be amazed at just that. If you have a book, PDF right there, you're off to the races. Do that, crawl, walk, run, and it quickly becomes everything that Mitch laid out. It's phenomenal. On our next call, I'll show you. We have the Freedom platform for our business, where everybody globally operates from. Top left-hand corner is the Grow CFO AI Buddy, right? So I got every employee right there using the AI, and it's best practices, right? How do you get the best outcome to your clients? So let's do a second session on monetizing, and we'll pick up where Mitch is left off. And thank you everyone for coming. But definitely take like right now, 5 minutes, take the first step, and then you'll be walking and running before you know it.
Rob asked a question that I didn't understand, and Rob, I know you've now put the question in the chat as well. But you said you had a question about accessing custom ChatGPT from an API. So I just needed a little bit of clarification because I don't understand enough to be able to have, I mean, I assume Mitch is going to answer this question, but I'm not sure what you're asking exactly. So if you could maybe post like the English version of that, that would be so great. Like, are you saying, can you access the custom GPT from inside of like a custom coded web page? Then, so I have a program that can prompt and get smashers from okay, I don't know what a smasher is either, but apparently I've gotten the question correctly. So he's asking, can we embed the GPT into a custom page? So what can you do there? Oh, well, get answers. I see. Yeah.
The answer is yes. And that's what I can show you when we talk about monetization. I can show you how to embed this directly into a web page and have it be an AI bot for your entire business.
Yeah. On the next webinar, we're going to do the setting where people can interact more, like questions, voices, that kind of stuff, and just more natural. Okay, so let's land here, because this is not the end of the journey. We're not even the first step. It's the next step in what we're doing here. So ball in my court to make sure the email is sent out with the follow-up, recordings, checklist, WhatsApp link if you're not already there. Halle, Mitch, every time I talk to you, doesn't matter what the topic is, you both amaze me. So thank you for jumping in, sharing what you're doing. And it's a better world as a result. Thank you.
My pleasure. Glad to help.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Thanks, everybody. Good to see you today. Glad you were here. And thanks for having all those great questions. And if you're not in Kirk's group, you've got to be in Kirk's group, but just reach out to Kirk and say you want to be in Kirk's group. Kirk, what is your, can you just type your email in here in case anybody isn't in the group already and needs to be? Because this WhatsApp group, we're all active in there every single day. And you can actually, Kirk, just put the link to join. Can they just do that?
Yeah, I'll do it just for time. I'll do that in the email follow-up. I have everyone.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's great. So if you can, Kirk, you can send Kirk an email, or Kirk is going to send out the recording. And when he does that, he'll put a link so you can join the group. That's terrific.
Hey, thank you. See y'all soon.